Hello guys and welcome back to SWTOR Central, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the new changes that we will be seeing to Galactic Command in January. So sit back, relax, because this video, as always, is about to get awesome. Okay, so we're going to see some changes to Galactic Command in January. Now, the two key points around these changes are going to be the fact that you can now work towards specific pieces of gear through endgame activities. Pretty sure that's what we had before Galactic Command. But okay, moving on. The second key point is going to be that elements of working towards those pieces are now legacy-wide. Okay, that actually sounds pretty good. That means I can go through my progression using my alts now too. That's a good thing. Okay, so let me just run you through these changes that are going to be coming with PvE. Unassembled gear pieces are now going to be a guaranteed drop on the last boss of every operation. As an example, if you were to beat Revan in Temple of Sacrifice, he would drop boots. And if you went back, he would drop boots again, because those boots are going to be a guaranteed drop. So if you need the boots, you know where you need to go. However, all of the bosses before the last boss will only have a chance of dropping an unassembled piece of gear. The further you get into the operation, the higher the chance of a piece of gear dropping. So all of the bosses that lead up to the last boss do not have a 100% chance to actually drop a piece of gear. They may drop nothing. And on top of that, the piece of gear that they do drop is also going to be random. So in the event that you do get a drop, it could be anything. It could be a headpiece, it could be an offhand, it could be an earpiece, it could be any piece of gear. As I'm reading the notes now, that is how I understand it. And just as we had before Galactic Command, you take these unassembled gear pieces to a vendor to turn them in for a piece of gear. But there is a catch, and I'll get to that in a second. Now, as we move on to PvP, we see a different method used to obtain your unassembled gear, however it still looks pretty familiar. So as you play PvP, you will earn yourself unassembled components. The amount of components you earn is going to be decided on the match outcome and how many medals you earned during the PvP match. Basically, the better you do, the more components you'll get. You then take these components to a PvP vendor that will have a valor requirement. As a note here, the vendor itself will have a valor requirement, not the pieces of gear that you buy from it. You then turn in these components that you've earned to buy a unassembled piece of gear, which you then take to the unassembled gear vendor to turn in for a piece of actual gear. Try explaining that to a new player. Okay, but here's the catch. It's not going to be just as easy as taking your unassembled piece of gear to a vendor and claiming your actual piece of gear that you can wear in return. Because on top of turning in this unassembled piece of gear, you will also have to turn in a certain amount of command tokens. Now, these command tokens can only be earned from command crates. The amount of command tokens that you earn from one singular command crate is going to depend entirely on your command rank. So I'm assuming the higher your command rank, the more tokens you're going to get from your crates. Also, just to point out here that tokens are a guaranteed drop from your command crates. Wow, I never thought I would say guaranteed drop and command crates in the same sentence. So once you have stacked up enough of these command tokens, you can go and turn those in along with your piece of unassembled gear for an actual piece of gear that you can wear. Again, please try to water that down to explain to a new player. And they said that the system before this was complicated. It's also important to note here that the command tokens themselves will be bind to legacy, so you can swap them between your characters just to help you with gearing your alts. Okay, now as a person who wanted a static progression system for endgame, I can't really argue too much with these changes. I mean, the only thing that I could argue, I guess, is the fact that the bosses before the last boss of each operation doesn't have the chance to always drop a piece of gear, or even the piece of gear that you are looking for. However, when I normally do an operation, I do the entire thing. So either way, I'm getting to a guaranteed drop, which is probably something I'm looking for. If not, then I would have planned to go to a certain operation to get the drop that I'm looking for. So yeah, as I said, I can't really argue too much. However, I would like to hold off from judging this too much until we get the entire information in January. But here is what I will say for now. What was the point? No, I'm serious. What was the point? For all intents and purposes, gearing from operations now is essentially the same as what it was before. Just you've added more of an RNG element to the bosses before the last boss. The exact same thing with PvP. You're going to be handing out unassembled components, which I now see as Warzone comms. As for command tokens, I'm just going to see them as data crystals. Just you've made them legacy wide, which is obviously a good thing, and I won't really complain about it. But what was the point? You've brought back the old system. Now, if I'm right here, You guys said that you were willing to make changes with Galactic Command. Let me tell you what you changed about Galactic Command. Because you only changed one thing, and that would be command tokens. Command tokens are the only change that you have brought to Galactic Command. All of the other changes are coming to vendors, which you're obviously going to add into the game, and to Operation Boss Drops, and to PvP rewards. So what was the point? I don't get it. What was the point? Like I said, you've brought back the old system just with a little twist. At this point, you could just bring back Warzone comms and data crystals, remove Galactic Command, and call it a day. Now please don't get me wrong, I'm all for the changes, obviously I like them, just I don't see the point. Galactic Command was supposed to be the new gearing system. Not that I'm defending Galactic Command because, trust me, I'm not. Just, I'm going to be banging my head against a brick wall here, guys. I mean, come on. Like I said, I'm not going to judge too much until I have all of the information, which will be hitting us in January. For now, this is all I have to say. But hey, I'm also interested in what you guys have to say, so please let me know down in the comment section below, because I can't make any sense of it, so if you can, please just tell me what is going on. But anyways guys, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.